Hello everybody, welcome to the first video in a long ass time. I have a special guest here today. I'm very sorry because, this video is going to be about balancing fitness and university. And if I can tell you one thing is trying to balance fitness and university and have a YouTube channel is the hardest shit in the world. And I did not do that very well. So kind of had to prioritize a little bit. Today's video is all about balancing fitness and university. And to be completely honest with you guys, I have Googled the title of this video before, searching for help in terms of finding how to balance fitness and university, because in first year I was so freaking lost. And yes, I know that I haven't been in university for X amount of years, only 2, but I have learned a great deal of information in that time. I will start off with telling you that I did not know how to balance it. For the first year, I was struggling so very much. So first and foremost, the biggest and hardest thing about university and trying to balance your fitness life in it is eating food. Because if you're in a res room, that limits you quite a bit.
I literally stirred instant oatmeal in a mug with a makeup brush. Like, that was my diet.
I luckily never had that opportunity. It was a curse and a blessing at the same time, because even though I had the ability to live at home and make my own meals, didn't have much of a social life at university in the first year. You win some, you lose some, whatever. Food. And we all know that nutrition is like the biggest thing when it comes to actually maintaining those fitness goals, getting on track, doing it properly, because you see all those things on the internet that are like, oh yeah, like you can't out-train a lousy diet, and it's very much true. Fitness is literally 70% nutrition, 30% working out, fitness, other components of it. So it's really something that you can't ignore, and in university it can be extremely hard to balance that. Very first and foremost tip about balancing any form of anything in university would be to meal prep. And I know that that's not exactly possible for a lot of people in res, but if you can at least go to somebody who has a big ass kitchen on a Sunday or a Monday or whatever, if you can go to somebody's house and just prep your meals for at least 4 days, that is going to save you so much freaking money. Oh my good god. If you are eating out like 2 out of the 3 meals a day, you are going to be spending so much money, and the food you're eating is probably cafeteria food that is not the best for you. So that is the first thing. It will save you money. Second of all, you know that the meals you're eating are going to be quality if you obviously make them quality. If you take time to invest into making your meals for the day, you will be astonished with how easy it is to get into a routine, let alone and making meals that you like to eat and that are gonna take you towards your fitness goals. So that would be the first thing. To look up some recipes that are good distribution of the plate method. You've got really good quality proteins, fats, carbs. You don't have to do the whole macro counting thing if that doesn't work for you. I know in university you've got 1,000 million other things to worry about, so extra numbers just doesn't really add to the cause of helping you stay mentally sane. So meal prep is going to save your life when it comes to balancing fitness and university. And I didn't meal prep actually for quite a bit in the beginning of university, because I was just still figuring out the ropes, and you're up all night doing like a reading and you're like, oh crap, it's midnight and I probably can't cook salmon for 40 minutes now. It's just not gonna work. So if anything, just meal prep and be prepared. The next thing that I did not really learn until this year, second year, was probably when I came to this conclusion. When I started working out, I used to go to the gym for like an hour to an hour and a half, and it was a very long process because it took 20 minutes to get to the gym, get settled for 10 minutes, you get to the gym, change whatever you change before, you fill up your water bottle, you do whatever you got to do, and that whole process of getting ready to get there is about half an hour long. And then the workout itself usually takes about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes depending on what you're doing. That's kind of how my schedule would go, and it would be like a 2.5 hour process, because I'd have to get there, work out, recover, stretch a little bit, get back, and settle before getting into studying or anything else. So it took a huge chunk out of the day. Solution number 2 in how to balance this is to make your workouts more efficient. And I actually started doing this at the beginning of this year, and it has worked for me so much in two separate ways. One, keeping my rest shorter has made my workouts completely like cut in half time-wise. It has actually helped my cardio quite a bit because your heart rate is up and you're giving yourself maybe 30 to 45 seconds to rest each time you stop. You are going to be getting in like the best workout along with shortened time. It's kind of like HIIT. It's kind of in the way that, you know, you can finish a 15-minute session that you would normally take about 30 or 40 minutes to and burn just as much, even more calories than you would in that long duration of time. So keeping rest shorter, keeping workouts to about 45 minutes max is what I was like, oh my god, this is the key to handling working out and still having a bunch of other time in the day to do a bunch of other things. You know, have your workout in mind and then think about how can you modify this to make the rest a little bit shorter. Maybe that means lowering the weight a little bit, and that's okay because you're gonna be, you know, in that high intensity fat burning state if you're resting, not for a very long time. It's, like I said, along the lines of HIIT. That is the second key that I found to how to balance this. And honestly, it took me a year to figure that out. And so that's why I want to share it with you so that it doesn't take you a year to figure that out. Number 3, do not underestimate the power of a 45-minute nap. Anything under 45 minutes is quality. I would say between 20 and 45 minutes, that is the perfect amount of time to feel rested and not accidentally fall into a 3-hour death nap where you wake up and you don't know what year it is. I discovered this during finals, especially the really efficient short workouts, because I was like, I need all the time in the world that I can to study, and I only can really sacrifice 45 minutes of my time for this. And you know, when you're so tired, you're staying up late, you're studying all night, you've got papers due, whatever, and you just need to have a nap, and you're at that point where you can't function because you're so tired, but you have so much to do, and you just wouldn't be productive if you did 45 more minutes of studying. That is a situation where it is okay to have a nap, but that nap should not be longer than 45 minutes. Always put on like at least like 3 alarms and just stop whatever I'm doing, go lie in my bed, go lie on the couch, and just like rest my body for at least like 20 to 45 minutes, and oh my god, you will be so much more energized and you won't feel groggy. That's the other thing. I find when I have a nap and I wake up after an hour, I'm just like, I can't wake up and I have to just go back to sleep for another 2 hours, and I've wasted so much time. And then you get into that cycle of being super tired, having a nap at like 4 o'clock, you have a super long ass nap, and then after that you're awake, you're energized, and you don't go to bed till really, really late because you had a nap already, so you stay up all night, you wake up the next morning early and you're exhausted, and the process just repeats itself. That's the story of my high school life. I would come home and have a nap every single day at 3 o'clock until about 5, and then I would go to dance, and then I'd stay up all night, and then I would, you know, it was a bad cycle. So break the cycle, have a 45-minute nap, and you will be astonished on how your energy levels are at. Napping would be number 3. Number 4, okay, this kind of goes into play with the video I made on how to make your own workout plan. Your schedule is going to play a very, very big role in how you handle your fitness and your priorities and how everything is going to work out in that way. If you're in school, obviously you have a timetable and you know when you have certain classes and when you have a break. Not a lot of people have this opportunity or access to a gym at school, but having a gym at school that you can access in between classes is actually really, really beneficial, because that way if you have time in between 2 classes and you're like, okay, I've got 45 minutes, I might as well do something, then you're getting that done while you're already there, you're already at school, you can check it off, get it done, and not think about it for the rest of the day. If you are somebody that has classes later on in the day, I would suggest doing it in the morning, because the later you push your workout, unless you're super motivated and prioritize the gym quite a bit, getting to the gym at 10 o'clock p.m. is not going to really fly. Think about what time of the day you have the most energy and when you're the most efficient, and recognize what times of the day does not work for you in terms of going to the gym. If that means waking up at 6 a.m. and going before class, you know, I've never done that, but some people do that, and if that works for you, then that works for you. And it's just a means of, when are you going to have the most energy? When do you know you're going to get it done? You just don't even think about it, you just go. It's part of your routine, it's part of your weekly schedule. That will make a difference. And once you realize that you have that specific time that works for you really well, from there, make that your time for the gym, whatever it is, for a workout class, for whatever you're doing. make it that same time every single day if your schedule is relatively consistent. So that's a situation where you're not thinking like, oh, I have to go to the gym today. It's like, this is when I'm going to the gym today. It's just part of your habitual routine. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about is drinking alcohol. This can be a very, very hard thing to balance if you're trying to balance fitness as well as socializing and having a party life in university. But to be completely honest, I went to a university. There's no residence at my university. Like, it's one of those universities that everybody goes to, gets their shit done for the day and leaves. And so for first year, I really didn't have that first year experience. Alcohol, one thing I will say about it is if you're very, very serious about your fitness journey or reaching a specific fitness goal that you have, that's the whole thing, is priorities. So if you would rather get drunk, go out, party with your friends every single weekend, but you want to be in the best shape of your life, that's a little bit much to ask of yourself, because alcohol is a very interesting substance, and obviously we all know a day after drinking is just a waste of a day. You feel like crap, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to eat well. Like, I don't know anybody who woke up a day after drinking and being like, yep, gonna make some oatmeal and go to the gym today. Like, it kind of just develops into a cycle. So I think that if you're really very, very serious about wanting to transform your health and transform your fitness and stuff, do not indulge in alcohol too often. I'm not saying never do it, because everybody wants to have fun. Drinking every single weekend, would not recommend. Calories that come from alcohol are quite excessive. It can be hard to balance both, but I think that's all part about university, and you have to kind of pick, all right, am I gonna drink a lot tonight? Probably shouldn't. I did a lot last week. It's just making those decisions that are better than others. So that's it. Those are my 5 things that I've figured out, and I really had no idea of these things. I mean, nobody goes into university being like, yep, I know how to do this. I know how to fix all my issues on imbalance and trying to manage all these things. And I mean, really, it comes down to what your priorities are. If you're kind of on the fence about, ooh, I really do want to get fit, but I've got so many courses, or I don't have the time, I don't want to have to put the time in, then maybe some reconsidering just needs to be arranged in terms of that. But other than that, that would be the 5 things that I recommend for balancing fitness and university. And that's it for today. I hope you guys liked the video. Hoped it helped you or gave you some form of insight at all. I know a lot of balancing fitness and university videos are just kind of daily vlogs of people in university and like giving you some tips, so I thought I would just break it down to the goods, the actual information that I know, and hopefully you can take and use and incorporate into your life. And other than that, that is all. I will see you guys in the next video, and thank you very much for watching.